Joining us now is a man who I assume has a thought or two about this. You see him every once in a while on Sundays on CBS. Mm-hmm. He crushes it.
Best on there.
He's already in the Houston Texans Ring of Honor, third person ever put in there.
Yeah. Whoa.
He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Very tall, but properly proportioned, so whenever you see him on his FaceTime, he doesn't look abnormal. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, J.J. Watt.
Yay!
It's a good description.
Thank you. It was a good description. I try to look proportional. I mean, that is a goal of mine.
Yeah, because you're overgrown.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like whenever you see you in real life, you're like, yeah, this thing is much bigger than it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, taller, wider,
Right.
seemingly the jug of the head
Massive.
is gigantic.
Huge head, just a gigantic head, figuratively and literally.
No, we don't think you're
talking
you
about?
don't think you're
What?
an arrogant psychopath. No, we don't say. But whenever you look, you go, this guy's overgrown. But then it's like, oh, properly proportioned. This guy, properly proportioned. Good for him. Now let's get it out of the way because it's right there on your big forehead, boy. We can't be losing to teams like Bournemouth.
My
we can't.
God.
Oh,
Well, those
no.
are supposed to be wins.
Can't have
Those
it.
are supposed to be wins. Gumpy, what the hell happened to Burnley? I thought we were supposed to win this past weekend.
We're up 1-0. Top bins had a beauty. I mean, just had to hunker down, close it out. JJ was there for the taking.
What happened, coach or owner? Sorry.
It was a frustrating one. That was certainly a frustrating one. You know, last game against Brentford, I was frustrated with that one. But then this one, like you said, we went up 1-0, and then they put some pressure on, and we didn't handle it very well. We have a match coming up today in a couple hours in the Carabao Cup against Everton. So I'm really hoping we have a bounce back and we show some resiliency and some resolve here.
The Carabao Cup.
Let's take down the
Yeah, the
Toffees,
Carabao
JJ. Take down the Toffees today.
Yeah, nearby. It's a battle. This is the manager of Everton is the manager that was previous to our current manager. So there's a lot going on today. It's gonna be
Oh, a little revenge game in the Carabao Bowl.
Uh-oh.
The Carabao Classic.
Look
Not
out.
good. Not
That's
good.
awesome. What is the Carabao Classic?
Yeah.
Do we got a trophy on
Official?
this?
Oh yeah, big trophy. There's 4 or 5 different competitions going on at any one time.
Of course.
In English football, it's pretty wild. So this is one of those competitions. So we obviously just played Saturday. We played today in the Carabao Cup, and then we have another Premier League match this weekend. So it's bang, bang, bang.
I got good news. Probably not going to be playing on Wednesdays, right? Isn't that the Wednesdays are the
Champions, Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
yeah? It seems like that's not
Champions
gonna,
League.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's a little ways away. That's a little ways away. We're working towards it.
You guys
We're
might
working
get
towards
there.
it.
Close to top 4.
Hey, let's go,
We're working
Burnley.
towards
What do we say?
Come on
Yeah,
now,
let's
Burnley.
go Burnley.
How many games we got left? Because I know we're in the danger zone.
Yeah.
We're in the danger zone right now, right? How many games
I
we
mean,
got
we're
left?
10 games in. We got 28 games left.
Oh,
We got
that's
time.
a good
That's the
time.
time.
Yeah, we're getting everything together. We're building our chemistry. We're understanding the style our coach wants us to play, and we're going to be just fine.
Oh, execution is the problem here.
It's he runs a very specific style of play, and it takes guys a while to understand exactly what he's asking and to execute it. So yes, execution is key.
Gump, what's the style this guy's running? How come he's not letting his players just play freely out there on the pitch?
I mean, he learned from Pep Guardiola, so he's probably doing the same thing. But you get up a goal, JJ.
Park it.
Nothing wrong with putting 11 behind the ball and getting 3 points.
Park
lads.
it. Absolutely.
I mean, we talked last week. The defense, man. It's the defense is. We got to step it up. On the defense.
Oh, geez.
Luton Town lost, though. You're still all right. You just got to jump Luton Town.
You'll be able to beat Gluten Town.
Hey, so
Everybody knows Gluten Town can't do anything late in the season. And you guys are a closing horse. You're a finishing horse.
I hope so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
How was Utah, guys? How was Utah? Was Utah good?
Better than Burnley is on the soccer field.
For sure.
I know that.
Yeah.
I know that. No, I'm joking. Utah was awesome. We just talked to the hockey commission. Did you see that?
I saw that. I was preparing. I was looking over my notes for my interview, so I didn't get to listen too much. What do we got? What's the best piece of insight out of there?
I'm sure you were looking over your notes, and I appreciate you preparing so heavily.
Oh, wow.
Whoa!
Note section.
I'm not lying.
Okay. What did we learn? Hey, Gary Bettman's kind of a dog, dude.
Yeah, he's
bit.
the man.
Kind of the commissioner's kind of a dog. He's the first and only commissioner of the NHL. Obviously, in 2004, they had like their lowest moment. Now they're at like their highest moment. It's quite a build.
First and only commissioner of the NHL. What happened before him?
Everybody's just kind of running roughshod. That's why, like, the Red Wings were winning games and stuff like that back then.
Whoa.
That's why.
They're still winning.
That's why?
That's why, yeah. That's why. It's the only reason why.
And 93 came, and all of a sudden the Red Wings were
Stevie
who goes
Eisenman,
back to
Osgood, Mike Vernon. I mean, what a team. Fedorov. Those guys were awesome.
Thank you, JJ. Dogs.
Yes.
Just those days are long gone.
And they actually started winning when Gary was commissioner, so that's how that goes.
No, we went back to back just a couple years after he like, you don't even know what you're talking about, Ray. You weren't even alive. You weren't even alive, so shut up, young buck.
I got it, Pat. Actually, this brings up a good point. I was having a conversation with my wife about this the other day, and I'm fascinated by this debate. We were talking best cities for where the stadiums are located, like all the stadiums together. And I was putting Pittsburgh up on that mount. I was like, right around the rivers, all three of them are like, you take that overhead shot with the rivers and the bridges. I mean, there can't be too many cities that have all the stadiums in that
Philly
badass location like
Cleveland.
that, right?
Philly does have that incredible setup where it's all one parking lot.
Yeah.
Pretty much for all of them.
Yeah.
In Cleveland, they're across the street from each other.
And Cleveland's got that Jack's Casino that's
Cincy's
very
right
giving.
next to each other.
Yep.
What's that, AJ?
Cincy's right next to each other. The Reds, who are unbelievable always, and the Bengals.
On the river, too?
Is Arizona the worst?
Kansas City.
Arizona's so far away, right?
what I mean.
Everything is like,
Yeah. Arizona's out there. It's 45 minutes away from everything.
New York
hey,
City.
your Diamondbacks also. What are we doing?
They suck.
It was a rough game last night. Guys, there's plenty of time. Jeez, calm down.
Don't have
Everybody
plenty of
calm
time. Got
down.
9 more innings.
Yeah, gotta go tonight.
Lost twice at
Yeah,
home.
You don't need more than 9. It's 9. Just go out there, play good. AQ, give us the scouting report. You've been a fan for all of 17 minutes.
Yeah, tell us, AQ.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so SeaWorld, he blew the save game 1. That was it.
No,
was wrong.
SeaWorld, our guy?
That's
Our
what
guy SeaWorld.
What about Hinkie?
Was it? I saw poor umping, which we're seeing
Well, yeah,
a little
always.
bit poor officiating in the NFL also, but poor umping. Is there ump issues?
I think the box is the box, however it is. But I do believe the MLB, especially, and this ties back in good, the NHL is going like this. I think the NBA is doing the same thing. They go like in, and then the MLB ended up with, the Diamondbacks and the Rangers, which I saw George Bush go out there and skip one in at his age. The way he was walking, had a little Vince McMahon.
Oh, yeah.
Had a little Vince McMahon struck
he's
going
still
out to
got
that
it.
entire thing.
Yeah.
I know there's some explosion, but I don't know how many people are paying attention. Tonight, though, we're watching.
That's right.
we're
Is
watching.
there a game tonight?
It's a big one.
Yes.
This is potentially a World Series winner.
Okay.
Anyways, let's get to football here, JJ, and we appreciate you joining us. You just talked about officiating. Let's talk about not only officiating, but like punishment. Mr. Warren of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who is on a rookie contract, did not get paid a lot of money. Signing bonus not that large. He's getting fined like $50,000 to the tune of like $50,000 for a multitude of hits that took place in the game that both of them kind of ticky-tack. Now, whenever you think about this type, there's one right there. Running back is getting fined for that hit right there. Go back to the beginning. Running back, boom, you'll miss it. Yep, that. Fine.
Yeah, you will miss it.
What?
Anytime you got to watch the play 10 times to figure out which person is getting fined, I think you messed up. All right. Like I posted that on Twitter, and everybody was like, "Which player is it? Which one am I supposed to be looking at?" Like if we're having to do that, maybe we shouldn't be taking the guy's entire paycheck. I mean, he's playing for free. He's literally going out there and playing for free 2 weeks in a row.
So there was.
What do you want him to do? It's a 300-pound man.
Well, so there was another hit in that game as well where he was running down the sideline and he lowers his head and he hits his helmet off the shoulder pad. So I think it's the NFL saying, like, we need you not to be ducking your head like that. But nonetheless, checks and balances with officiating and everything that's kind of tying in. Where do you think we stand as an Yep. Where do you think we stand as an NFL, and how do you kind of fix it all, JJ? And how many times have you
I got takes. I got takes here. Okay, we want to talk about that. We just showed the play. You saw that play. If that's considered lowering your head and dangerous, like, okay, that's what we're going to talk about. Let's talk about cut blocks. Let's talk about a tight end coming across the formation, throwing his head at the knee of a player, trying to wipe out his player. Perfectly legal according to the rule book. You're allowed to just go wipe somebody's knee out and try and literally the goal of a cut block is to blow somebody's knee out, basically. And we're going to be okay with that. But we're going to take this guy's whole paycheck because he tried to block a 300-pounder and he tried to get lower and use his leverage. I mean, there's a lot of things that we wear these guardian caps in training camp because it's 10 times safer for concussions, but we don't wear them in, I don't know. Like there's a lot of things going on that's like, are we doing it or are we doing it? AJ, you with me?
JJ, yes, AJ's definitely with you. Did you see that second one there?
It's a physical
Yeah,
finish
run it back.
here.
Sorry, I was too hot. Yeah.
Fine.
Oh, okay. He's lowering his shoulder. He's trying to get an extra yard. Like, what? Is he just supposed to take the hit? Should he just take the hit?
Is this football? Are we playing football or not?
What the hell?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Like, are we like the discussions of flag football and like now we're getting in the Olympics, which is great. I love flag football. It's a great sport. But like we are literally headed towards that direction as a league. And
Say it loud.
I mean, if that's what you want to be, fine. Just say it. But I don't love this like middle ground we're in right now.
I love the fact that if somebody had to grab JJ's flag, that thing's like right here.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That might be an actual advantage. I don't know. In eyesight, not 100% sure. But I do appreciate that you are alongside a lot of people that played football that are like, what are we doing to the game? We actually just talked to Gary Bettman about fighting in hockey and potentially them trying to lean it out. He didn't say he wanted to get rid of it, which was, I think, a big deal for NHL because a lot of people think health and safety, which we agree, being health and safety for players. We're obviously a pro player show, and we would like everybody to be safe, but it's like sports are going to have things that are going to happen. Football is going to have things that are going to happen. And I think once the league acknowledges that, we would all be much better, but I think they assume they're just going to get sued by everybody if they don't make progressions. We got to figure out how to keep the game, though, JJ. We got to figure out
How sweet is it that the NHL is just like, yeah, no, we're cool with it. Just let it go. Just these guys are going to handle it, and then they're going to go, and that's going to be over. Like, that's kind of badass. Just let them do it.
Super badass. And they said, we don't mind the spontaneity fights, okay? But we can't just have the stage choreographed, goons coming out. We don't want that. But if it's spontaneity, it's cool. And in the NFL, it's like some of these hits, they're flying real quick, and then we're punishing people. It's like, what do you want people to do, and why do you want to change the game so much from what people love to watch? Like, it's just...
The fines are really upsetting me also because... You get like there's certain those two obviously he didn't get penalized in the game and he gets a fine later and he's got a full game check taken away and then you have to go through this appeals process and hope they give you half of it back and like that's its own conversation. But now we're talking like there's these unsportsmanlike conducts or like TJ takes his helmet off in that one game and he gets a penalty and then also gets a fine. Like at some point, the penalty hurting your team is the problem. We don't need to also go back. I think there's been more than like $9 or $10 million in fines this year. Like it is mind-boggling how much we're taking away from these guys.
And where's it going? Huh? Can I pick where it goes?
Charity.
Nope.
What's charity?
Yeah, charity, AJ.
Exactly.
Who writes it off? Who writes it off? AJ, have you ever gotten to write off a fine? No, I haven't.
Nope.
Somebody gives it to charity and writes it off. I've never gotten to write it off.
What charity? Too.
Exactly.
What is
I believe it's the United Way.
Is
believe.
it? Do you know that? That's the first time I'm hearing it.
No, I can't prove it. I don't know.
Well, shout out to United Way. I'm all about what they're doing, but that's the first time
but
I'm
I don't
hearing
know.
that.
But no, the money comes out of my check and it's gone. I don't know where it is. I don't know where it went. I just know I don't have it.
I got fined for a lot of tweets, and I don't know where that money went. And I was very wondering, like, well, if
you got fined for tweets in the league.
Like to the tune of like $75,000, bud. Not just,
from your team though, not the league, right? From your team.
Yeah, not from the league, from the team.
Oh, all right. That's a different.
Yeah, it certainly was.
I don't know where the team fines go. I have no idea where those go.
Yeah, I'm sure it went somewhere really good with the guy that decided.
What was your worst tweet?
We know
what was your worst tweet?
They're all still up. Just know that.
What was it? I'll go look.
The worst one, the one that made me decide to retire and say this league's not for me anymore, I was standing in the equipment room during like the Thanksgiving break where, it's a pretty dry time around, but everybody's in there. And I'm holding an electrical box outlet like this, and I'm acting as if I'm cutting a promo like Mr. Anderson from the WWE. And I actually just put a tweet out that was like, I'm just waiting for the WWE to call me. And I put a promo out. And I was just bored in the middle of the day and just put it out. One of the equipment managers, a guy who's been with the coach for like 30 years, is the one that took the picture. And it was like, yeah, all right, I'm hanging out with the equipment room. I put it out. Then I got fined like 10 days later, could have been a whole game check, I was told, because this was multiple times that I've done conduct detrimental to the team. And it was like, okay, all right. And
I'm done.
Yeah, you don't say. Yeah, it was my profile photo for a very long time because it was the reason why I decided to finally retire. I'm like, to hell with this guy. and this place. I don't want to be here anymore. But then I met Dave Chappelle, and it was like, all right, I'm going to take a picture with Dave Chappelle. I'm going to put that up as my profile photo. But yeah, fines around the league are something that need to be talked about more because it feels like there's only one side being heard, and then where's it going? I guess the United way. Anyways,
it should be some type of scale too. Like Jaylen Warren, obviously if he's making $15 million a year, you should get fined at a certain point. If you're making league minimum or $6,000 or $7,000, like $700,000, you should get fined on different scale. Like some guys get fined in preseason. Like Quan Alexander, I think he got like a $20,000 fine in preseason. We're not making anything in preseason.
We just Googled in preseason. We actually lost money playing in Canada because of taxes. Couldn't even imagine if you got fined up there as well. The fines collected are donated to Professional Athletes Foundation to support legends in need and the NFL Foundation to further support the health, safety, and wellness of athletes across all levels, including youth football and the communities that support the game. All right, sweet. I'd like to see what a lot of money's come from that, so I hope we're really kicking ass in this support.
Sure they are.
Why don't
D-Butt, to your point, D-Butt, that's part of the reason that like I am choosing to talk about it, especially in like a Jaylen Warren situation, because he's a young guy, obviously not making a ton of money, and like something like that happens where that in my opinion is a ridiculous fine.
Yeah.
If he speaks out about it, or if he says something in the media, that has a chance to affect him and his career, and also may not get the same, pickup. I feel like you need older guys, you need people that have been through it before to talk about it. So then hopefully, obviously this is massive first world problems where guys making a ton of money getting fined. No. But like, I do think it's ridiculous.
Do you know how much money I got fined for one of those tweets? I thought it should have been a federal crime. This guy stole from me. This is grand theft getting stolen from me. It was like a $30,000 fine for a tweet. I'm like, this is a federal crime. This guy's stealing from me. This is how much my parents made combined growing up. And I'm getting this for, and whenever you
you got $30,000 from your own team? That's nuts.
Crazy.
Buddy, you start adding it up.
Couple times.
Yeah, this isn't just one. Obviously I was a multiple offender, but it was just like, Bud, I'm not deleting them either.
That's stealing. That's stealing.
Grand theft. I wanted the guy to go to jail. I'm like, what the hell is going? We've moved past it though. Anyways, AJ has a question for you.
JJ, going back to all the fines that are happening for people leading with their head or helmet-to-helmet contact, what's the answer? Like, how do we find the balance? We know there's 17 different helmets they can choose from that are super light and have zippers and not real chin straps, and everything is all space age now and has different rivets that claim it helps with concussions. Okay, why is there 15 different models then if one is better than the other? But you can maybe enlighten us on that. But what do we do? What's the NFL supposed to do here?
I think that there's a massive difference in determining intent. Like, you watch those two plays from Jaylen Warren, he was not intentionally doing anything. There are plays where you watch it, you're like, oh, that guy was literally trying to decapitate a human being. Like, we want to take those types of hits out of the game. We want to take the things where there is malicious intent, where somebody is trying to do, harm outside of the realm of playing football. Those are the things that we need to find. Those are the things that we need to take out of the game. When we start doing these little fines for things that happen in the regular course of a game, that's frustrating. That's the same to me why we shouldn't be fining every single roughing the passer call, because some of those roughing the passers are a little bang bang thing that it happens in the course of the play, and sure, we gotta flag it, but we don't need to fine it. I think there's a massive difference in intent versus just some of these regular plays.
Who's that? Runyon, right? That runs that?
Yeah. Go on.
I don't know. It was like, I've gotten in so many arguments over the years on a fine appeal call. It's you just get into an argument and you're like, I can say anything in the world here, and they're not changing their mind.
Derek Brooks handles some of the appeals.
Intent does not matter to them. I know that.
Intent should be a part of, like, I think the refs, which then leads into we need full-time refs so then they can have a better feel of the game and what the intent is, like hockey has with their NHL refs that are kind of a part of it all. Hey, we'll figure it out. This show, we'll solve it.
We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Yes, we are. And it's also, all of this might be why Raj won't come on our show. The NHL commission.
It could be part of it.
It could be part of the reason.
I don't know if I'm gonna get canceled as an analyst here soon, where they're gonna be like, hey, you're talking about stuff we do not want you to talk about.
You know what I'm interested by is when we came to ESPN, everybody, I think, assumed that we're going to be told what we can talk about, what we can't talk about, because ESPN has a massive relationship with the NFL, obviously. Massive. Now, granted, we're paying multiple millions of dollars to the NFL as well through NFL Films, so we can run highlights on social media as opposed to just on our show. So we have a relationship with it as well. But, there's been things in the past where networks, I think, have been scared to say anything because they don't want to affect future relations. We're just trying to make game better. They know that.
That's all.
You know what I mean? We know, and ESPN has said nothing to us about anything. So I appreciate. Hey, shout out ESPN.
Yeah, clap it up.
Shout out. Honestly,
you know what's fascinating? About that? When I signed on with CBS, one of the first questions. And I guess you being a former player, you have a similar thing that I do. One of the first questions I asked was, "All right, are there topics that they give us that we're not allowed to talk about, or is there we're not allowed to say things?" And they were like, "No, it's." You can say whatever. And so I was I just assumed that there was a list of blacklisted topics that you can't speak about.
Listen, we're not talking about Roger Goodell's history of punishing players. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing all this stuff. It's for us, thus far, it has been everything that they said it was going to be. Go ahead. I think it's potentially agents telling people that go on TV what they're supposed to say, what they're not supposed to say. Let's stay away from this, as opposed to the networks. I think the networks have gotten blamed for a long time. I don't believe it's necessarily the networks, but it might be the network telling the agents.
Didn't your feed cut out at a certain time yesterday? Didn't your feed cut out at a very specific
one
moment
provider.
yesterday?
That's fake news. Don't listen to everything ML Football says on the internet. You can't do that. That was only one provider, but Aaron did text me. He was like, heard we got cut off.
They cut me off?
Yeah. Heard we got cut off.
What's that about?
Heard we got cut off.
They censoring me? Big Brother? 1984? What's going on, guys?
They scared a 4-time MVP hippie guy saying some stuff. Oh, must have hit too close to home. That was how I was like, we've been told that it was only one provider, and we don't know if it was one Connor Stallion's rogue agent.
Could have been. Yeah, could have been.
Had that provider, kind of hitting it, or if it was just technical difficulties at the exact same time. But it was not ESPN, from what I've been told. Let's move along. Connor has a question for you, JJ.
Yeah, JJ, great Michael Scarn shirt. That's a classic.
Thank you.
Also,
Brett Level Midnight.
Yeah, of
Brett
course.
Level Midnight.
Fantastic film. I mean, that's just The Office to a T right there. Goldface.
Man, what a good show. That show's really good.
Yeah, you love it.
Tell
you were
us about
saying
it,
that
Pat.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Bro, Baumgartner.
Yeah,
Kevin Malone.
He's so good on it.
He is.
Every time I see him on Cameo, I'm like, this reminds me of the guy from The Office. And I love him in that,
Right? Oh, yeah.
And then that guy who's just like Dwight.
Dwight Schrute.
Dwight, what a character.
Zany.
He really mixes up. Jim, when he looks at the camera.
Classic.
The best.
Oh, my God, that's
Creed.
great. And then he's in love with the
Pam.
Pam,
Yeah.
she is so good at the show.
Yeah, well, but not everyone loves Pam.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
the later
Does everybody
years-
love Baumgartner?
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone loves Kevin
Yes.
Malone.
Universal.
I don't know if I love
Universal.
Baumgartner.
Whoa!
Couldn't imagine why. I can't wait to hear about it.
Well, it's probably because what I've said about how Baumgartner's looked at me every time I've seen him in real life. The guy always side-eyes me, this Baumgartner guy.
Really?
I think he senses that I've never watched an episode of The Office, although I am a big fan of what they did. I love that they were out there doing it. From what I've heard, it's amazing, and I will dive into it at some point. But I feel like he senses. He's always looking at me literally like this.
Yeah.
This is literally like it's
So
actually.
do you encounter him a lot? Are you in restaurants together often, or how does this go?
Once a year, the last couple of years, I've been around this guy every single time. Literally doing that.
Yeah.
I've never experienced it before. I'm like, this guy's actually side-eyeing me right now.
It was very evident at Tahoe this year.
I am on 80 milligrams right now. Okay,
Yeah.
we're at Lake Tahoe. This guy actually side-eyeing me right now?
me.
Am I punching this guy in the face? What is going on? And it's every convo I've had with him. But hey, Kevin, you were great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kevin, you were absolutely great. Great shirt. Anyways, let's get back to it. Sorry about it, Connor.
No, please. I mean, are you kidding me? If we can talk about The Office and Kevin Malone, why not?
Such a good show. I mean, I put it right up there. Friends. Whoa.
Yeah, you're right there.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
I thought we were never going to do this again.
All right.
Man.
Moment of silence for him.
Yep.
Moment passed. I wish I knew more about him, but everybody loved that guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, they
That's
do.
what I learned over the last couple of days.
For sure.
Rest in peace.
All right.
Anyways,
Connor, to you. Transition out of this. Here you go.
please,
Good luck,
we had a
bud.
moment of silence
Yeah.
for a very
Yeah.
beloved guy.
That was very nice. Just to kind of stay in the same vein, there's a guy that was killing people on Sunday against the Panthers with the
Good transition.
Houston Texans.
Professional.
I believe his name is John Greenard. Might be Greenard. Not exactly sure. Is this guy out of nowhere? I mean, everyone's focused on Will Anderson. Is Johnny Greenard the new face of that Texans D-line or what, JJ?
First off, it's Jonathan Greenard.
No!
But I appreciate you were so close. You were so close.
Can't trust that.
Gosh.
Translate, said Greenard.
Well, it's spelled.
But he had a great game. 2.5 sacks. He's been playing really, really good football. I mean, here, just go ahead. Just knock the guy straight on his ass, right into a sack. I mean, what a great feeling that is. And but the thing I'll say about Jonathan Greenard, he's a great guy. He was down there when I was playing, and just continues to get better, continues to work. And he just had a baby a couple weeks ago. And the thing that I've learned about dad strength is you turn into a monster on the field because there's a new sense of purpose. There's a new sense of, and he turned into a monster. He's got 2.5 sacks this past game alone, and he's just throwing grown men to the ground. So shout out John Greenard. I love giving shine to guys that don't necessarily always get it, and we're giving it to John Greenard today.
Yeah, especially for the Houston Texans, it's going to mean a lot coming from you. That celebration right there tells me maybe he's a Q. I'm not 100% sure.
That is correct. I believe his rookie show, he did the Q Dog dance. It was pretty
very
always
sweet. Very
cool.
Very cool. Very cool. And also, you don't know how many Qs are in the room until rookie stands up in the front and starts doing it, and it's like, in the back. It's like,
coaches, everybody.
Yeah, you see
Atomic Dog, come on.
Awesome. Yeah, you see an assistant coach for the running backs just like sitting back there, and then all of a sudden, it is awesome. It's always electrifying. I have no idea what's coming, but it's like, all right.
That and the haka. Somebody does the haka for the rookie dance. That shit is gonna hit, man.
How about they did one at Utah this past
Yeah,
year?
start the show.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Great.
Fantastic. Shout out to Greenard, you pig.
Greenard, no, sorry. Look, AIs are telling me what to say, and Greenard is what it told me.
This is ESPN telling you the wrong stuff. We just talked about ESPN not telling you. D-Bud has a question for you, JJ.
We're staying in the AFC South. Somebody else who I think doesn't get enough shine, absolute dog, Jeffrey Simmons, in those sweet throwbacks had another dominant afternoon. What should we know about him that most casuals don't?
I mean, true NFL fans have known it for a long time. He's consistent. He's great. Yep. He does it every single year. He's a very, very good player. Casuals, I don't know if fully understand and appreciate what Jeffrey Simmons has been doing for years in Tennessee. And yes, the uniforms looked spectacular.
Oh, so good. Best in the league.
Gorgeous.
Come on.
I see that jacket.
But I mean, guy makes plays, man. He's dominant. He plays the run. He's in the pass game. He's got a double swipe here. Comes around, just doink, get the ball out. I mean, just the guy's a great player. He deserves more shine than he gets, and he's a guy that's been doing it for a long time, very consistently. Just a solid player.
I was watching Inside the NFL last night on the CW.
Oh, really?
Found it, was watching it.
Nice.
Jeffrey Simmons was mic'd up, and he was doing a lot of I told you guys in training camp about Will Levis.
Yep.
Like he was talking up a lot about what he saw from his arm and what he was able to do. Seems like Will Levis is won over. I mean, I feel like you win over Jeffrey Simmons, you probably won over the entire defense, at least, maybe the whole roster. But in the mic'd up that I saw, he's very much like, yup, we got a guy. And then we asked Coach Vrabel out of Tahoe after Baumgartner side-eyed me. We asked Vrabel if he thought he could beat up every coach in the NFL, and he scoffed at us with 2 cigarettes in his mouth and an entire tin of Zyn and Cope, I think, at the same time, with a vape in between the 2 cigarettes. Kind of scoffed at that. And I said, you think you can still beat up players? And he said, yeah. I said, you can beat up any players on your team? He said, everybody but Jeffrey Simmons, is what he said, pretty much. So I think he's got the respect of everybody, JJ, or Jeffrey.
So Vrabel's coach competition, I mean, it's got to be Saleh, D'Amico Ryans, MC.
Staley.
That would be a great 4-way cage battle,
For
man.
a takedown, yeah.
Yeah, but you got to think about Bill Belichick.
McDaniel.
Exactly.
Belichick coming in there, I think, late, scrappy, gnawing an Achilles.
Yeah, hungry Andy Reid after he had a cheeseburger that day.
We were practicing at the Greenbrier one year. We were doing our training camp at the Greenbrier, and the Patriots were coming in for a joint practice with us. And I went in the weight room one morning to do my workout, and Belichick was in the squat rack, man. Yep. It was fucking sweet. Damn it. Are we still live? Damn it.
That's 2 in 1 show.
No, I didn't go through.
Yes,
that was
I said it quiet. I said it really quiet.
Don't matter.
Yeah, we heard it. It was your outside voice, JJ. But to be clear, right situation to use it. You see Bill Belichick squatting.
Fair.
That's something that certainly can maybe get you past a filter or two. But yeah, we saw that photo of him squatting. It's actually on a T-shirt now at this point, I think. Because it was
the Eagles.
He had actually 2 big I don't know if there are 45s, but maybe like 25s on either side.
Yep.
45.
315 on there, I think. Didn't he have 315?
Yeah.
No, yeah, he had 25s on the end, but then he had 3 45 plates inside of those 25 plates.
All right. I mean, if that's how we're going to. Bill does not like that we're lying about this.
We're not lying. That's how I remember
The
it.
picture I saw.
JJ, you were there.
315? 315?
With
It wasn't
ease,
315.
brother.
I don't. Are we talking about the same photo? I don't think I took
405
a photo of it.
Wait.
Did I take a photo
He
of it?
squats every day, so.
Well, if you took a photo
yeah,
of it,
no, I figured.
we owe you some money because the shirts
No,
did
I
well.
didn't.
Yeah, they did.
Shirts did really well because much like you,
Really?
anytime you see him on the squat rack, you go, well, that's absurd. I'd like to see that again. And then you buy the shirt. And then
Are you guys still getting in the squat rack?
Yeah.
Every day.
Are you still getting in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diggs has not been under a bar in a decade.
That's a lie.
I heard him
Who's squatting
There
the
it
most
is.
out of this group?
Oh, look at this.
Who said 315? Who said 315?
So
That's
I
a
did.
warm up.
I saw a different one. I saw a different one. He was doing maybe 375.
Can't see the
actually.
just real quick, you go back. Exactly what I said.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly what I said about this photo from how many years ago was that whole thing?
I believe that was 2 years ago. Sirianni's first year as head coach.
Hey, Bill, I have respect for you, pal. I'm not gassing you up and lying about you. Your resume's already good enough. Like
not.
these guys are lying
He's
about
warming
it.
up.
I'm not
He's
lying.
warming up.
I'm not
obviously.
lying. There's other stories
95
too.
pounds.
There's other stories.
What are you saying, A?
That was 95 pounds.
Warming
That was
up.
his.
He's 90 years old.
What do you think?
He's lifting the same
you.
years he's been on Earth.
Yeah, you're skinny now. Shut up.
Yeah, you're scrawny.
He
ass.
squatted
Hey,
yesterday.
Q, what are you squatting today?
Did
We
he?
put you under the rack.
squatted
right now. What are
yesterday.
you squatting? Hey, what'd you squat?
I can still do well over 400.
What did you do yesterday, though?
I did 275 for 3 sets of 15 yesterday.
Wuss.
We're just taking his word.
Yeah, I don't agree. It's a shipyard. A lot of lies happen. They don't flush the toilets. There's been pissing
Cameras
there for
in
2
there.
weeks.
I can pull it up.
But we did lunges this morning. This can be my new thing. I've heard this is the real cheat code to keeping yourself in shape. I'm not going to be able to stand up from the dumper later. I don't know. You still,
Lunges suck, dude.
Suck,
Gosh,
dude.
are they the worst?
Are you still squatting?
Yeah, no, I squat. I do lunges. Single leg, reverse, like a reverse single leg, man.
Oh, yeah.
Anything single leg has got to be the best, but also like just the thing you
worst.
hate to do the most.
Bulgarian split squats. Best.
Yes.
Bulgaria, man.
Yeah, the Soviet ones
no,
too.
Yeah,
Very
the,
bad.
yeah,
Full
the
body.
Soviet
Foot
shuffle.
elevated.
Is that what you're talking about?
No spots.
You're talking about the Soviet
Turkish
lift?
get-ups with the kettlebells, the core.
Too much.
Oh, Turkish get-ups, yeah.
Yeah, AJ.
Kettlebell action.
AJ, how many years you been retired, AJ?
I don't know. 6, 7 now. I don't know.
So AJ still every morning does like
No.
team lift, 5:30.
This is the person whose answer I wanted. Like, what's your squat right now, AJ?
That all depends on how much cartilage I feel like I have in my right knee, but it's different. I mean, I'll do just like basic 315 for 6 or something. Do 5 or 6 sets, but then if I feel good, I can put more weight.
5 or 6 sets. I'm doing 315 30 times at 5:30
Yeah,
a.m.
it was basic.
7 years
All
after
depends.
retiring.
All depends on how you feel.
Basic
Knees
squats.
don't lunges are not in my repertoire at the moment. I fall down if I try to do a lunge with no weight. So yeah.
Yeah, they were tough. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I'm going to stick with them, but the internet's been telling me they are the cheat code. I tried them this morning. I don't know if they're going to carry into tomorrow because I'm going to be very sore. How long are you going to do this, this whole I'm still a player lift thing? JJ?
I do not know. I'm in a very interesting place trying to figure it all out. Like, I can't let it go. But I know that at some point for my long-term health, it's better to switch up the styles.
Yeah.
But I really can't figure it out. I honestly don't know exactly how I should be proceeding with my workouts because every time after I do a big, good lift, I feel great. Like it makes me feel like like I'm actually doing something. So I can't let it go.
And then the next day you're like, why did I? So there's no reason.
You're so right. I mean, when you go to the bathroom, that's when you know like yesterday's workout was a really good workout because I can't stand up worth of shit.
Well, I love the fact that you're still 20% lift, 15% grit, 40% power. And
Yeah.
do you hate that scene?
You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it.
I don't know the words as well as you. Did you hate that scene? Did you hate that scene?
I mean, I definitely, anybody that tells you don't have regrets in life is probably lying. And, there's things I'd do differently.
Yeah.
I won't bullshit.
Yeah, but I will say, a lot of us said, look at that machine.
God, holy hell.
That guy's a machine. AQ has a question for you about another machine.
JJ, so Nick Bosa only has 2 sacks this year, but he's got like 45 pressures, right? So everybody's saying he's having a down year, but can you talk about the difference between pressures and sacks and kind of which stat you think is more important?
Yeah, for most important, I will always go with sacks because it is a true end result of a play, and it's quantifiable to say, like, this guy got home and did it. Now, there's definitely, I love to say, any pass rusher will love to tell you, they don't ask how you got him, they just ask how many. You generally say that after you're unblocked or the quarterback falls down and you get the sack because we'll take him however you can get him. But pressures versus sacks, pressures are obviously massive because they can force interceptions. They can force a quarterback into bad decisions. There's all different things that they create. But it is interesting to look at this 49ers defense and to know that they're not putting up the numbers that they normally put up with all those guys they have on that side of the ball. To be on a 3-game losing streak with the offense and the defense that they have, it's certainly curious. And you go out there and you watch, and now they bring in Chase Young, obviously, and it's kind of one of those situations where you're like, don't they already have an embarrassment of riches at defensive line? But they aren't getting home. So they come in bunches, and I would imagine once they start to get rolling, they're going to have Nick Bosa will rattle off a couple 2 or 3 sack games, no problem. But I know how he feels right now. And when you're sitting there this deep into the season with only 2.5, you're itching to get there. You want that one, and sometimes you start to reach a little bit because people are expecting it from you. So he's just got to keep playing his game. He's got to keep going out there and getting after it, and they will come.
Yeah, we assume Bosa will figure it out whenever it's needed. Yeah. He's a big-time player for a reason. They paid him a contract for the reason. Still getting pressures, but hey, let's get home. Speaking of getting home, hey, Thibodeaux, 3 times in the Jets-Giants MetLife Bowl. This guy obviously highly touted coming out of college. Was supposed to be the number 1 overall pick, but he liked to use words like Liddy.
Yeah,
and
like Bitcoin.
And he was, this guy's weird. That's what was being said about him through the draft process, and we know the draft process brings a lot of bullshit, but for him, it was certainly louder, it felt like, than anybody else. He's now in a system with Wink where it seems like he's played his best ball this past weekend, biggest game he's had. What did you see from Kayvon Thibodeaux, and what do you think the future is for this guy?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it just like everybody else. New York City is a place to play where people are going to scrutinize every single thing, and they've been waiting for this guy to go off from the beginning. He's sitting there at 8.5 sacks on the year now. I mean, he's in the top 3 for sacks. He's playing good ball. He's getting after the quarterback. He's got some moves that are coming along. He's got some power. He's got some speed. They obviously have dogs on that defensive line. I mean, Dexter Lawrence is incredible. And this is what they wanted to see from him. And if you can do this consistently in New York, you can turn into a superstar. And it's a lot of fun to watch. He's got that motor right there. That's a perfect example. He tried inside, didn't work, so he comes back outside, comes around, makes a play, and he knows it. And then obviously at the end of the game, we all saw the situation with the offsides, and he posted the video. Was it offsides? As a pass rusher, I feel that pain. I know that pain.
So you're saying not offsides. He started leaning his upper body before his lower body started going, and he has it right down the line. And sorry about it, he said. Man. Everybody's letting the offensive tackles do it. Yeah. Everybody's letting the offensive tackles do it. But a guy who has 3 sacks can't get his 4th. Why do you offensive linemen always have such an advantage? Why do the refs always try to screw the defensive ends, AQ?
I don't see anything wrong with that play. I'll take his defense there. Nothing.
Wow. That's never happened.
Wow.
That's big.
Wow.
Very mature of you.
Timed it up. That was perfect.
Who is this guy?
AJ, go ahead, pal.
JJ, I'm pretty sure they changed the rules on how you can hit a quarterback during your time when you were playing to where you couldn't land any weight on him. And when that happened, like, how difficult was that to do? Because I feel like guys they're very conscious of it now. You see them like bracing their arms. I mean, some guys I'm sure have hurt themselves trying to not land all of their weight on a quarterback or even a receiver or ball carrier. But how difficult is that to do in the moment?
Yeah, it certainly is difficult to do. I will say if you're conscious of it, you're cognizant of it, and you know what they're looking for, you can be very successful at it, and you can actually earn yourself the opportunity to hit him more and get a little more leniency if you know exactly what they're looking for. It's something that as I was learning those rules, started to figure out, okay, is it 1 step? Is it 2 steps? It's actually like 1.5 to 1 3/4 if you do it properly. If you hit him and you roll off, or if you hit him and you clearly put your arms out to brace yourself, the ref is going to give you a whole lot more leniency than if you hit him with your shoulder and you kind of take him down to the ground. So you really have to learn how to do it. But one of the reasons I had so many quarterback hits in my career was I found where that line was, and then I was constantly pushing at that line but not going over it. And those hits affect quarterbacks. Like any quarterback will tell you, the more hits they take, you start to think about it. It starts to get in your head a little bit. So I always try to make sure that if I had the opportunity to, I lay those hits into them. And we would always talk in the D-line room. There'd be guys that lay up because they're like, I don't want to get the penalty. And I tell them, no, that was one where you could have gotten away with that hit. Anytime you get that shot, you got to take it.
Yeah, I love the fact that both offensive linemen are trying to cheap shot you guys, and you guys are just trying to dance on the line. Hey, is this football? Is there a competitive edge? Potentially, but also mental warfare. If you're right at the feet of that quarterback every single time, a natural human thought at some point is like, wow, 99 is real close. 99 is real close. So if there's a play where you got them single blocked, it's like, all right, all of a sudden things are a little bit quicker. Not only you win the physical battle, you're winning the mental one, JJ. I like that about you. Nobody talks about how smart that big head is.
There's a lot of air up there, plenty of space.
Well, you need to take all that air and put it towards Burnley. Not playing great, but a team that showed up for the first time, long time. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, JJ, we're just a couple weeks removed now from people saying, like, hey, the Broncos are hammered dog shit. They suck. They gave up 70 points to the Dolphins. They need to fire Vance Joseph right away. Granted, Patrick Mahomes was very, very sick on Sunday.
He was. He had a flu.
He was.
IVs. IVs.
That's what they're saying. But the Broncos made him look terrible. What has been kind of the key to their resurgence? Do you think that was more a product of them just being in the division and knowing how to play him? Or is that something that's going to kind of carry them through the rest of the season here?
I think you look at it as a trend. I mean, obviously it was 4 weeks ago now that they gave up 70 to the Dolphins, and everybody wants Vance Joseph and the whole defensive staff gone. And everybody's asking, what's wrong. But if you look at the last 3 weeks, I believe they haven't given up more than 20 points the last 3 weeks. And then they obviously hold one of the best offenses in the NFL in Patrick Mahomes to save for a victory there. So I think there's a part of it that certainly is the team figuring it out. I mean, they have a new head coach in Sean Payton. They have a new D coordinator in Vance Joseph. You do need time to understand the systems, to build the culture, to do the things that you want to do. And sometimes it just doesn't happen that fast. So these guys are now starting to fly around. They're starting to play a little better. They're starting to force these takeaways. They're putting these guys in tough situations. So I think there's certainly a part of it that is just, it takes time to figure it out and for you to implement your system. And so it'll be interesting to see going forward if this defense continues to get better and better every single week. And I think I'm a guy that if everybody wants to crush a coach or a unit early in the year like they did, and rightfully so after a 70-point, somebody's hitting 70 on you, yeah, you're going to take a little criticism. But when they turn it around, you got to also give them their credit there.
Patrick Mahomes did have IVs.
He did.
All night. He was sick, just like Matt Hasselbeck against the Houston Texans back in the day. And as we wrap up this beautiful time here on this glorious Trenches Commissioner Wednesday on JSPN Journalism Sports Network, we'd like to say thank you to JJ for taking time out of his life to join us every week. JJ, you got about 10 seconds here. Would you like to say anything to the JSPN crowd as we end our second hour here?
Burnley's going to have a big day today. Win coming. Tune in. ESPN Plus.
That was 4 seconds. See, that's the thing. 10 seconds is a lot longer than you actually think.
Yeah,
First year in.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Still got time.
Still got another one. AJ Hawk, very strong.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Nailed it. Hey, you did great, JJ. That was really good TV out of you. That was really good TV.
Unbelievable.
The people at ESPN just got to love it. Yeah. Yesterday, we're in full costumes. Hey, your costume was awesome last night with the fam.
Great.
You look good.
Thank you. Yours was. Willy Wonka, the Oompa Loompas, man, that was great.
Yeah, the wife put it all together, obviously. Great. She's the big brain behind it. I assume same thing for you?
Same here, absolutely. I came home to a 3XL Incredibles outfit, and she was like, here you go, this is what you're wearing. All right, sounds good.
Hey, you look superhuman. Are you going to get back into the movies? And we need more action stars, don't we?
We do.
We need more action
stars.
Yeah,
you never have enough action movies.
What's your problem?
That's true. The hell
What's your problem?
Good.
No, they make like $1 billion. Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. Okay. Yeah, Marvel, you guys need somebody? I'm right here.
They actually do.
Literally sitting right here.
Right now, because they got a strike. Nobody's available.
They still on strike? Who's on strike? Writers or actors now?
Writers figured it out.
Yeah.
Actors. Good. Yeah, now it's actors. I'll step in. I'll break the line. I'll be that guy.
Scab!
Wow.
Scab! I did that ESPYs.
You guys need somebody? I'll be the replacements. I'll be Shane Falco.
Nice.
Hell yeah. And Nigel, I'll be your Nigel there if you need me in there. You know what I mean? You need me to kick and smoke cigs in any of your movies you do. I would definitely get out there. when I
be
did
a
the
great costume for you.
Yeah, it would be.
Just
And
some
I have
wispy hair.
potentially did it before. You know, a lot of comparisons to that guy. I never smoked cigs though. Not really my thing.
Missing out.
Nicotine's not my.
Not your bag.
Not my MO. It makes me sick every single
Yeah,
time.
especially those cigs.
When I did the ESPYs though, they were calling me a scab for writing and doing the whole thing. You know, because that was happening.
But did you write your own?
Who's they?
I don't know the answer to that. I'm not trying to.
You do know the fucking answer.
Yeah, you sound like a Mark.
What do you think this is?
He's saying yes. Of course, he wrote his own situation.
Yeah, well then why would somebody get mad at you? Like,
Because
you're a writer.
I wrote in my head what I was going to say out there. Now, did get a couple lines from a human who's one of the funniest of all time, in Tom Segura. So it was a compilation. It was a compilation writing together. But yeah, I was called a scab and they attacked me. That was a long time ago. They're still not doing stuff?
Yeah, that was this year.
Holy
The
shit.
writers are, just not the actors. Yeah, actors are striking.
What do you got the rest of the day? You on CBS this weekend or no?
No, I am. My parents just got here because my wife and I are flying to Pittsburgh. We are going to go to the Steelers game tomorrow night. Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow night.
Are you? Oh, mama, I'm in fear. Oh,
I'm excited to see it, man.
Yeah?
I'm looking forward to it. I was having a conversation with my brother. What do you guys think? Do I wear Steelers gear to this game or do I not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wear
I feel like I do, right?
Yeah, you wear a TJ White jersey with a long sleeve underneath, maybe terrible towel hanging out of the back pocket, have boots on.
I do want to wave a towel. I want to wave a towel.
Could split with Derek, too.
It's not just
What kind of towel?
It's not just a towel.
The terrible towel. Not a little yellow towel. Coach Cowher and I Coach Cowher was fired up about it. And I kept trying to talk him down. I kept trying to be like, hey, watch the video. He didn't say it in disrespectful. He's like, I don't care. He said the words. He said little yellow towel.
I do not want to watch the video. I am very content being mad at
you
this game.
Pittsburgh people, after I watched that video, are so dramatic. It is unbelievable. It was the most harmless thing you could ever say.
Hey, sorry,
And you guys got
we're busy
so bent out of
working.
shape.
We don't have time to watch a full fucking press conference.
Your head coach is on TV every week crying, Fox.
You guys are crying about a towel. He's crying about his players. You guys are crying
nothing
about
wrong
a towel. You guys aren't working. You're crying
towel.
about a towel.
Terrible towel.
That was unbelievable.
Then they went there and backed it up.
Yeah, then they played Pittsburgh football.
Yep.
Against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
In Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
In front of Pittsburghers. And then left. That was tough. Are you going to talk to the team?
No, I'm not.
What if you went out there and were like, all right, tonight, boys, you know what it is. 10% luck. 20% skill.
What a move, guys! We have a relative of somebody on the team that would like to speak.
Team only meeting.
How weird!
Listen up.
Weird.
Hey, they had Debo twirl the towel. I believe is what's twirl the terrible towel. Is that he's doing the twirl before the game?
Wave. Twirl.
Wave the
twirl.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't. I saw it happen. I'm like, this is a good idea. Okay, I like
Just a tank of a human being, man. I mean, just a freaking tank.
He's gotten bigger and stronger, more Debo-like since retiring than whenever he was in there. And let's fucking go.
Yeah, he would have done something.
When are you going to do that? Are you doing the terrible towel wave for the team?
No, I'm not doing any of that. I have no correlation. I have no relationship to the team besides the fact that my brother plays. I mean, I love
the best player
Mike,
on the team.
Brothers.
I wish I had more time because he has said I can come to practice. I want to sit in his meetings. I want to see what it's like. I mean, he seems like an incredible coach. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, no, James Harrison. I have to say he's my brother tells this story. My brother has a severe tree nut allergy. And they were at a team dinner one time, and
Peanut?
he had a nut allergy. Yeah, no, tree nuts, like tree,
like acorns,
pine,
like almonds, like pine nuts. Yeah,
really.
And at dinner, like somehow something got into his food, and he had an allergic reaction. And James Harrison put him in his car, took him to the hospital, and sat with him at the hospital the whole night until he was good to go. And then the next day, and got him home and everything. So. I'm a big James Harrison fan from whatever happens from here out. I love the guy.
Hey, thank you, Debo.
Yeah, cool.
Pittsburgh is very happy for Debo, not only what he did on the field, how he represented himself, but also saving DJ Watt's life. Exactly. Sounds like. Tree nut allergy? I don't think I've ever heard that. Like, that's the nut allergies are a big deal.
Yeah, it's really, really scary, man. We were in Rome one time. We did my brothers and I, we did a little European vacation, just the three of us, and we went. We're idiots. two parts of the story. I'll show you how big of morons we are. So we're at the Pantheon, which we're going in, we're checking out the Pantheon, and we're standing in it. And TJ goes, "Hey, I've heard one of these buildings around here has a huge hole in the roof. I want to go see that one. Can we go see that one next?" And I literally just said, "Dude, just look above your head. The Pantheon is the building with the giant hole in the roof." We were literally standing underneath the hole.
Okay, classic.
Jesus.
Where's my glasses? They're on your head type situation.
Yeah.
Love that. TJ Watt, great at tackling quarterbacks.
And then we went to lunch, and he knows he has a severe tree nut allergy, and I do also. None of us were aware of the fact that pesto is made purely of tree nuts. So he ordered a massive pesto pasta dish and literally stopped breathing at the table. And we had to get him to the Italian hospital. It was one of the scariest experiences of my entire life because they wouldn't let me go back with him either. So they took him back there when he literally wasn't breathing. And for about 45 minutes to an hour, Derek and I had no idea if he was
When was this?
wasn't going to make it. This was probably 2014-ish. 2000, yeah.
Does he have to
The
carry an
scariest
EpiPen?
shit, man. Yeah, but he won't do it. I'm like, dude, where is? And that was eventually it got to that point where the doctors, they didn't speak English, he didn't speak Italian, so they they did like the motion, like EpiPen motion, like, do you have one? And he was like, yes, and they said, use it, and so he just stabbed himself.
TJ, stop skimming your own pool.
Yeah.
And let's stop with the tree nuts, okay? Football needs you, Pittsburgh needs you, and obviously the Watt family and friends need you. That's wild.
very good, though.
How many grazis?
Yeah.
How many grazis did we give out there? Grazie, grazie, grazie.
Oh yeah, love it. It's the only word I know. Grazie. Yeah, please. What else? I don't know any other word.
Mi scusi.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Ciao.
Pizza.
Mozzarella.
That city is the coolest city in the world, man. Just to know that like these gladiators 2,000 years ago were just literally fighting for their lives in there.
Hell yeah. I believe Jesus got killed by somebody from there as well.
Pontius Pilate.
Yeah, he was a Roman.
Double P.
Yeah.
Well, he's hired by not the Romans.
Let's get to a break.
Oh, we're going deep here. Yeah,
Old Testament. That's what Dabo Sweeney said. This guy went Old Testament on me. I went Old Testament back. I don't know what that means, but I appreciate that Dabo's out there swinging. Last question for me, JJ. Obviously, as a Big Ten guy, Michigan's cheating. Can't take it anymore. Were you at Central Michigan?
Yeah, a long time ago I was.
Oh, a long time ago. You don't want to claim it. Okay, interesting. They're a part of this whole thing. Connor
You
Stout.
have glasses? You have glasses that record people? Do you have any of those?
What's that all about, JJ?
So with blue dots on them, a little blue dot. I saw, so like when they first put out, I don't know, when ESPN, they put out that report, the very first report saying Michigan has a scout that went ahead and they're now being investigated. Under that post, I wrote, yeah, that's called scouting. Everybody does it. To which many Michigan people were like, yeah. Many athletes were like, yeah, that's scouting. And I was like, yeah, oh gosh, I'm so smart.
I beat the game.
Yeah, like, and now stuff's coming out, and people keep bringing that back up and sending me screenshots of it, and I'm like, yeah, there's a chance it might have been just a little bit more than just scouting.
Yeah,
getting pretty interesting out here with fake goatees and sunglasses.
Yeah, and Jim McElwain obviously said, I didn't even see it.
I missed that. What did he say? I saw it, but I didn't get to watch it. What did he say?
Here's what he said. It's a quick video, but he pretty much was like, I don't know what happened out there. Here it is.
Before we go any farther,
okay,
we've obviously are aware of a picture floating around with the
shark thing.
The sign stealer guy,
avid fisherman.
Our people are doing everything they can to get to the bottom of it. We're totally unaware of it. I certainly don't condone it in any way, shape, or form. And I do know that his name was on none of the passes that were let out. Now we just keep tracing it back and try to figure it out. But it's in good hands with our people. And again,
it's in good hands.
There's no place in football for that.
It's in good hands. We'll take our people. Hey, listen, I know these
people.
Do you know him?
It's in good hands.
Listen, I don't know how
I know him?
Ended up here.
No. Does the coach know him? If a guy's on the sideline, I wonder if someone's like, hey, who's that guy over there?
The guy who openly admitted that we have no idea how this guy ended up here said, but don't worry, it's in good hands.
Yep.
We didn't know he was there. We have no idea how he's in there.
Full team uniform, full hat. He's got the issued gear and everything, but no idea.
And then there's a moment where the ball goes on the sideline, and he's literally like the most non-comfortable.
Almost tripped over himself.
Head down, hand down.
That's crazy.
Hey, listen, you're a big guy. I need you to stand in front of me for most of this evening. Look, he's standing with his legs together, too, so he can hide behind.
That's crazy.
Like it's like he's behind a tree or a telephone pole.
I didn't know this.
That might be the worst one right there. This clip right here, this might be the
most
That's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
All right.
What is happening?
We don't know, but it's only getting better. And Pete Thamel is going to be the one at the forefront of all of it. And we're very thankful for that. JJ, this ball goes in. You'll give 10 people $500?
Yep.
All right, all you got to do is retweet this post, say something nice to somebody, and JJ Watt could potentially give you $500. You're the best, man. Thank you for this beautiful Wednesday. Good luck to your Burnley team.
I got fined by the McAfee Show. Love it. Me and Jalen Warren feel the same.
Hey, but we know where the money's going at least. 10 people, $500. All you got to do is repost this, say something nice to somebody, and put the easiest way to pay you. We appreciate you. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. We'll be back on the other side with Kirk Herbstreit.
What a throw.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. What a show by you.